What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes here, back with another action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at a double set. This time we are going to be viewing the Batman Dark Knight Returns, Batman and Robin. So let's go ahead and dive right into it, starting off with that sexy packaging. Now for that sexy packaging, as you can see, we of course do get the window right here where you can see both of the figures and some of the accessories inside. Looks like a couple of my Batarangs have already fallen down, but oh well, I'll find them somewhere. You do have the two images of the figures right here on the side. It does say Batman The Dark Knight Returns, Mafex, MEDICOM toy, Batman Blue version, and Robin. At the top it just says The Dark Knight Returns, nothing much. A bunch of legal stuff on the bottom. On the side we've got some more images of him, or them right here in a couple action poses. It does say The Dark Knight Returns right there. We do have an image of Batman holding Robin on this, and I do like this image a lot. Then of course on the back we do have some poses we can get the figure into, as well as a few more legal things. So that being said, let's go ahead and bust these figures out so we can dive right into them. Now, I will start off by saying, guys, if I do sound like I have a little bit less enthusiasm in this video, it's because I am super sick. I've been like this the past 2 days, but when there's work to get done, I try to get it done. So just wanted to throw that out there in case any of you guys notice it. But anyway, moving on to the figures, I do want to say I think this is the first time that Mafex has done a double pack release, and I'm completely fine with it. I don't think too many people would have bought Carrie Kelly by herself, and then maybe some people would have passed on this Batman, especially if they already had the original release and then they have the Dark Knight Triumph. I could see a lot of people passing on this. But I will say, if you do have any of those original releases for Batman, then you do already know what to expect. The blue on this guy is really clean. It's a very, very bright blue. The body is pretty much the exact same. And if you guys want to see it, I'll go ahead and show that off right here. As you guys can see, there's a little bit more sculpted detail in this one in terms of wrinkles and things, but I think overall, for the most part, the mold is the exact same. And I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about Batman just because he is all just about reuse. The head, as you guys can see, also is the same. The logo is where it's a little bit different. You do have this sculpted logo in here, which is why I believe that the chest piece is at least a new piece. Now, I'm not sure how well it's picking up on camera, but the paintwork on my logo is a little bit wonky, man. I don't know what they did on this. It looks like it's clean, but they're missing quite a few spots on there. But anyway, overall, it still looks nice. I hate when like paint bleeds and things like that. But yeah, you do have this extra piece right here that you don't get on any of the other Batmans. It's a couple of other pouches, and it looks like he's got two knives in here. But overall, that's about it. Even the cape is the exact same as maybe the first release. I don't know. Let me pull him back out. Let's find out. Yeah, same exact cape as this one, not the Dark Knight Triumph. I believe that one had a longer cape. So, yeah, anyway, putting back Batman, let's go ahead and take a look at Carrie. Batman almost fell over. Anyway, yeah, let's get Carrie. Now, moving on to Carrie, I will say I'm not really the biggest fan of her character, mostly because she just kind of came out of nowhere, which then again, that is what happens with a lot of the Robins that have joined Batman, probably all of them actually. He just meets them on the street and then somehow they become his partner. But overall, this looks great. This just looks awesome. It kind of has that classic Robin look to it, where he's just wearing the green underwear. I think this is like the 60s or 70s look, and it looks great. I mean, it's fine. It's just not one that I really care about enough to go all into. But the colors on it are all clean. I don't see any paint bleeding anywhere. The only issue I have is this chest kind of tends to move around a bit. You gotta mess with the joint a little bit to get it to sit still, but even then it kind of rocks to the side and it makes the figure looks like it's off proportionately. But overall, other than that, I mean, it looks fine. The face doesn't look too bad. I don't remember what her glasses look like, and yes, this is a her for those that don't know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they're accurate. I'm not gonna say they're not. The cape is really nice though. They did a great job on this cape. That's one thing I'll say for sure. I really love all the wrinkles and stuff in there. That's awesome. I don't care for the shoes. I know it's accurate to the comic, but I don't like this. And then I'm having an issue where this joint is already separated. Hopefully that doesn't turn into an issue later on down the road. But yeah, as you guys can see, that joint is separated. This joint is not separated. So I'll try to fix that after this section. But yeah, overall, that's pretty much what you get with Carrie Kelly. Let's go ahead and put these back so we can see how tall they stand. Now, moving on to the height of these figures, there is a significant difference between the two, as you guys can already see. Carrie, to the top of her head, is only at about 4.5 inches. Actually, that's to the top of her hair. She's a little bit shorter than that to the top of her head, but to the top of Batman's head, he is right at about 6.5 inches with the bat ears a little bit over. So big height difference between the two of them. It is accurate because Bruce Wayne is super tall and beefy at this age, and then Carrie Kelly is only 13 years old, so she's still growing, and I think they nailed it in terms of the size. Moving on to the articulation, starting with Batman. He looks up about that much, which I think is fine because technically he's definitely looking up. He looks down about that much. The chin does touch the chest, but that's about as much as you get. It still kind of looks like he's looking forward, so that's a little bit lackluster. But I mean, with all this sculpting and everything they have going on down here, it makes sense. He does get tilt and turn. His arms go up and out about that much. He does have a butterfly joint, so you can bring his arms in about that much. So if you want him reaching for a bad guy, he can totally do it. Or if you want to do the signature Batman grab an enemy through a wall, that's not going to be a problem. He does have bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. His hands are on a hinge, as you guys can see. And they're getting a whole lot better with these hinges, by the way. So I'm happy about that. He does have a diaphragm joint. He leans back about that much. When you lean him forward, kind of pull and push the bottom piece in, and he leans forward very well. So great job on that. He does also have rocker on the side. He does have a waist swivel. As far as the legs go, they are on the drop down method, so he can kick forward about that much. He can give an enemy the boot, no problem. He does have a built-in thigh swivel. Just be careful with that. Sometimes they're stiff right out of the package. Mine doesn't seem to be, but I always mention it. He can do the splits about that much, and the leg popped off. That's why there was still plastic in there. So that's on my end, but I'm gonna leave that on camera for you guys to see because I always like to leave my epic fails on camera so you guys won't make the same mistakes. He does have double jointed knees. His foot goes down about that much, up about that much. He does get really great ankle rocker, and he does get really great toe hinge as well. So articulation wise on Batman, no different than the rest, but I mean, still very posable. Moving on to Robin. She looks up about that much, which is still not too bad. The back of the head does touch the back of the neck. She looks down about that much, and that's because the chin is touching the collar right here, so you're not going to be able to get it any further. You can a little bit if you extend the neck out and then you bring the chin down. It's not going to go much further, but it does help a little. She does get really good tilt, so that's awesome. Arms go up and out about that much, so you can get a T-pose out of her. She does have butterfly joints. They don't seem to work very well, and then the arm popped off. Let's see. It's not much of a problem to get back on, but it did happen, so why not show it? I don't think these butterfly joints are actually effective. Let's see here. Actually, yeah, they are. Not a whole lot, but they do kind of come out. But this is an issue you're going to have to watch for. That is a little bit annoying. This is one thing I was worried about with this figure being so small. I was worried about breakage. I can deal with popping off, but it is going to be annoying. But yeah, you can bring the arms in about that much. I'm not going to say they can go any further. Single jointed elbow, but you do get some pretty good range out of them. She can totally flex the muscle if you want her to, so that's not going to be a problem. Hands are on a actually thicker hinge than I was expecting, and I think this was a great decision not to make a small hinge because you don't have to worry about something like this breaking. That's a good decision. They thought about that one a little bit. Now, as far as the diaphragm joint, you can move her all the way around. She leans back about that much, leans forward about that much, does have a waist swivel, no problem. Drop down legs, can kick forward about that much, so not bad at all. Does have a built-in thigh swivel, can do the splits about that much, double jointed knees, foot goes down about that much, up about that much, does get ankle rocker, and does get toe hinge. So honestly, the only issue I would say is when you try to use the butterfly joint, you might have an issue with the arm popping off, but that could just be mine. So overall, articulation on her is pretty good as well. Now moving on to the accessories, you don't get a whole lot, but you do get a decent amount. Starting off with Batman, you do get the neutral angry Batman head and then a pair of relaxed hands. Actually, this is for when he's doing that pose when he jumps through the lightning or by the lightning, whatever. You do get this teeth gritted face right here for when he is super angry and about to beat someone up. You do get an unmasked head. This is unbruised, just basically Bruce Wayne looking old and angry, and that is painted very, very nicely. By the way, they did a real good job on the hair sculpt and the facial sculpt. I really love the balance between like the realism and the cartoon, so great job on that. You do get this Batarang. You actually get 4 of these, but I figured why get out 4. I have carpet, I don't want to drop them, so yeah, just know you get 4. You do get the cowl for when he has it just kind of hanging, and that's of course for when you put the unmasked head on there. Now as far as hands go, you do get a pair of fist hands, you get a pair of cape holding hands, and you know that because of the separation between the thumb and his fingers, you can kind of stick the cape in there, and that could be for when he's using it to attack, glide, fly in, whatever you want to use it for. You get a pair of Batarang holding hands, and you just kind of slip them through the fingers, and then you do get a pair of stylish pose hands, dynamic hands, whatever you want to use them for. So decent amount of hands with Batman. Moving on to Carrie, you don't get as many. Actually, you only get 1 less set. First off, she comes with a pair of fist hands and then kind of a neutral expression. You get a pair of relaxed hands with her. You get a pair of weapon holding hands with her, and then you get a pair of holding hands for her, and this one the index finger is connected to the thumb, so it's not like you can put any accessory in there. I hate when they do that, but sometimes I don't, because some companies make the fingers separated weird, and so you can't get the accessory to stay like you want it to. But then you do also get her weapon of choice, as you guys can see, and this is painted very nicely. They did a good job on this. A small sculpt, but it looks really good. And then you do have one where she is utilizing it as well. And I say weapon of choice because I don't remember what this thing is called. I'm sick, so give me a pass. My brain's not functioning properly. But yeah. Anyway, and then you do also get this head where I guess this is for when she's like gliding in or something and her hair is blowing. But yeah, you do get this, and she kind of has a smirk on her face. Still looking really nicely. So overall, accessory wise, I think they did a decent job. I can't think of anything else they could have added. Next up, here they are standing next to some more Batman Hush figures. We do have the Batman Hush Joker, which is a great figure, and I still hate that people are sleeping on this one. And then, of course, the Superman from Hush also, which is the best Superman to date. And I always say it, I feel sorry for anyone who didn't pre-order this figure. Now, in case you want to get your mix-up on, here they are standing next to a Mattel classic comic book Robin. This is, I believe, Tim Drake. And then, of course, a DC Icons Batgirl. And this is the version that came with the motorcycle. And since the movie's coming out in a couple of days, it's only right that I threw these two in here. Here they are standing next to a Mafex Spider-Man Homecoming Spider-Man. This is the first release from Mafex, the 1.0. And then, of course, we do have the Marvel Legends PS4 Gamerverse Spider-Man as well. Now, for my final thoughts on this, I gotta say, guys, it's not like I was really impressed with this set. It didn't wow me, but mostly because The Batman, we've gotten this figure 3 times in the last year, and then I'm not the biggest fan of Carrie Kelly almost at all. I think The Dark Knight Returns is the only thing I've seen her in, and I didn't really care for her all that much in the movie. Yeah, she was helpful to Batman, but I was just more focused on him, the mutant ninja, or the mutant leader, and then Joker. I don't know why I said ninja. But yeah, I was more focused on that. I didn't really care for her. I think she had a cool sideline plot, but it just wasn't enough to really grab me. Maybe because I didn't have enough time with her, but that's another story. I just would have preferred another Robin. Now, if this was Tim Drake, if this was Dick Grayson, we're supposed to be getting that Nightwing, by the way, or Damian Wayne, I would have loved it. But that's not to get off subject. It's a great set, and I also want to say that I feel like it was decently priced, because normally Mafex figures are pushing $100 a piece, no matter what it is. I think I paid $140 for this set after shipping, so I think that's wonderful. I really wish they would go back down on their prices, but I don't see that happening. But overall, I'll say it's a nice set. If you have the other 2 Batman and you enjoy them, you're definitely going to enjoy this. You do also get to throw Carrie Kelly in there if you are interested in having this figure. She is not bad at all. It's just not my cup of tea. It's not one that I deem necessary to have in my collection. And it's just up to you if you guys want it. But overall, like I said, decent set. I hope that you guys enjoyed this review. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. Lastly, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and stay safe wherever you are. Bye.